Diffusion is a process of the movement of molecules under a concentration gradient. It is an important process occurring in all living beings. Diffusion helps in the movement of substances in and out of the cell. The molecules move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until the concentration becomes equals throughout. Liquids and gases undergo diffusion as their molecules are able to move randomly. Some examples of diffusion that occurs in our daily lives are the smell of perfumes, breathing and taking oxygen into the body, and also transport of biomolecules and minerals in plants and animals. So with this, we can properly define diffusion as the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration down the concentration gradient. Now, there are important terms to note in understanding diffusion. Number one is concentration gradient. The formal definition of a concentration gradient is the process of particles, which are sometimes called solutes, moving through a solution or gas from an area with a higher number of particles to an area with a lower number of particles. These areas are typically separated by a membrane. Mediums of diffusion. Diffusion can occur in various mediums, including gases. Diffusion in gas is rapid due to the high kinetic energy of the gas molecules. Number two are liquids. Diffusion in liquids involves the movement of particles from region of higher concentration to lower concentration. Then solids. Solids. Diffusion in solids is typically slower and occurs throughout the movement of atoms and molecules into a solid structure. Again, we have plasma. In the contents of physics and astrophysics, diffusion can occur in plasma, which is a state of matter where particles are ionized. Another thing we need to know in understanding diffusion is permeability. The permeability in diffusion refers to the ease at which substance can pass through a medium or membrane. It is a crucial factor influencing the rate of diffusion. The permeability of a material or membrane depends on its structure, composition, and the nature of the substance involved in diffusion. Types of diffusion. Diffusion is widely used in various fields such as biology, physics, and chemistry, etc. Diffusion can also be classified into two main types: simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Simple diffusion is a process in which the substance moves through a semi-permeable membrane or in a solution without any help from transport proteins. For example, bacteria delivering small nutrients, water, and oxygen into the cytoplasm through simple diffusion. Facilitated diffusion, on the other hand, is a passive motion of molecules across the cell membrane from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration by the means of a carrier protein or molecule. And again, we have osmosis. Osmosis is a specific type of diffusion involving the movement of water molecules across a selectively permeable membrane. It occurs from an area of lower solute concentration to an area of higher solute concentration, or vice versa, through a semi-permeable membrane. Osmosis is critical in a biological system, especially in maintaining proper cell turgor pressure and ensuring water balance. While osmosis involves water, it shares the fundamental principles of diffusion, moving molecules from region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration. Now, let's look into factors affecting diffusion. There are a few factors that affect diffusion, which individually or collectively alters the rate and extent of diffusion. And these factors include temperature, area of interaction, size of molecules or particles, and then the steepness of the concentration gradient. Now, we are going to look into the significance of diffusion. Diffusion is an important process which is involved in different life processes. As mentioned above, it is the next movement of particles, ions or molecules or solution, etc. In all living species, diffusion plays an important role in the movement of the molecules during the metabolic process in the cell. Diffusion is very important for the following reasons. During the process of respiration, this process helps in diffusing carbon dioxide gas out through the cell membrane into the blood. Diffusion also occurs in plants. In all green plants, water present in the soil diffuses into plants through the root hair cells of the plant. The movement of ions across neurons that generates electric charge is due to diffusion. Diffusion in different forms of matter. Now, let's look at diffusion in gaseous molecules. Gas diffusion involves random molecular movements from an area of high partial pressure to a region of low partial pressure. The rate of diffusion depends on the partial pressure or tension, which are different in each area. Now, let's look at diffusion in solids. Diffusion in solid is a very slow process because the density of solid is very high as compared to liquid or gases. An example of solid diffusion is when we write something on a blackboard and leave it uncleaned for a considerable period of time. You will find out that it becomes quite difficult to read after some time. Now let's look at diffusion in liquid molecules. Diffusion in liquid molecules involves the spontaneous movement of particles within a liquid from region of higher concentration to lower concentration. This process is driven by the random motion of molecules, influenced by temperature, pressure, and the nature of the molecules themselves. Now let's look at the application of diffusion in several aspects of science and technology. So some of them include number one, biological processes. As discussed before, we have gaseous exchange in the lungs. Oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuses across the respiratory membrane in the lungs. Then still under biology, we have nutrient absorption in cells. Nutrients and ions diffuse through cell membranes to support cellular functions. Now, under pharmaceutical industry, we have drug delivery. Diffusion is utilized to control and release medication within the body. Then in environmental sciences, we have soil nutrient movement. Nutrients in the soil diffuse in plant roots, supporting the plant's growth. And again, we have air quality monitoring. Understanding the diffusion of pollutants in the air helps in assessing environmental impacts. Then in chemical engineering, diffusion can be applied in chemical reactions. It involves a mixture of reactants in chemical processes and also in material synthesis. Controlling diffusion helps in creating materials with specific qualities. And then physics and material science. Semiconductor industries uses diffusion to introduce impurity to control the conductivity of semiconductors. And also for heat treatment, diffusion is used to modify the properties of materials used in hardening metals. And then finally we have food and beverage industries. In food preparation, flours diffuse through the mixture and enhancing taste. And also we have fermentation. Microbial diffusion plays a role in fermentation process in food production. Alright, thanks for watching. You can also find other materials on diffusion that will give you further understanding on what diffusion is. Once again, thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.